Okay, I've gone ahead and whipped out the gearbox and engine. It was pretty easy. The gearbox, first of all you take off the clutch actuation rod and lever arm. 4 bolts, slide it back, out she comes, no problem. So getting the engine out's pretty easy. It's just held in by 2 through bolts, go through the frame there and there. You disconnect cable to the ignition control unit up here, one to the voltage regulator. There's a couple of other connectors you disconnect. There's this positive lead from the battery that goes to the starter motor. Disconnect that. And what you do is get 2 people, one on each side. Remove the bolts. You pick the engine up, turn it about 90 degrees forward, and you pull it out through the frame. It was pretty tight, but if I'd removed these coils it would have been a piece of cake. Here's the engine. It's the cable to the ignition control unit. One of the connectors, another connectors, that one goes to the voltage regulator. That's just a power lead I put in for the Motor Gadget instrument panel. Positive lead from the battery goes to the starter motor solenoid here. So what I'm going to do next, as I mentioned before, is finish mounting the hugger that I was making out of the front fender or mudguard, and I'm going to fix this side stand. Right, here's the issue with the stand. There's far too much slop in there. It's got this spherical bush in here. It's really loose as well. I'm going to cut that out, fill up the hole, thicken this up, and just drill another hole.
Died in hospital at the age of 69. He served as a minister under the Premiers Jeff Gallup and Alan Carter.
Okay, side stand repairs done. It's quite a nice fit now. The only issue is when I do really crank down on this bolt here, it tends to pinch these in, and then it binds here. Now, I think it's going to be okay. I'll just do it tight enough with some Loctite and g'day Lola, and we'll see how it goes. The ultimate solution would be to oversize this and put a bush on here that I can tighten down on, or the other solution would be to make a shouldered bolt here that I can crank down on without pinching this. So let's just fit this up. That's nice and solid now. Job done. Okay, the hugger guard is essentially done now. I've just got this on with I put cert nuts in there in the swing arm. It's just about good enough with those two, but I've also got up my sleeve, I can put another bracket up to just, I think, a 1 hole here with a nut cert as well. This might need to come down a bit, which is just a matter of bending that bracket slightly when I get it off. I will get some dome nuts here to finish this off nicely, cut these back, and just put some dome nuts on each of those three. I'm not sure about here whether I will cut that out. It looks good on that side actually, but on this side it looks a little bit odd with this cutout here. So the other option would be to just cut it from there around like that. I'm undecided yet, but I can trim that up later. My latest idea is to try and fill this in using a piece I cut off the unused part of the guard. So I'm just going to try and epoxy that in. I've shaped this to fit as best I can. So I'll just take this in place on the back here, and I'm going to drizzle in some epoxy in there, get it glued in, and I'll have to sand all this back a layer of fiberglass and then fill in the front as well. Okay, here's the hugger completed, ready for painting. I've just added some extra holes here just for the look. I've filled in this cutout here, can't even tell that was there. And I've just gone with these 2 bolts here. I didn't put one on the bottom. Once you tighten up all these bolts, this thing is really on really nice, so it's not going to go anywhere. Alright, I've gone ahead and stripped all the electrics off the bike. I've taken the handlebars off and I've whacked these clip-ons on, and I'm starting to play around with that. There's the wiring harness there, headlight. I've got these old-fashioned Tomaselli clip-ons which actually feel really good. They sort of put the bar forward a fair bit, which is good because it gives you a bit more stretch from the seat. Now what does concern me, I'm just about to pull the bike outside now and have a play around, but I'm pretty sure that's going to smack into the tank, so I might have to flip those around, which is going to put the bar a lot further in, which may be okay. I have to have a look what that's like. Now that top clamp, what I'm thinking is I'm going to fill in all of those holes, and I'm going to extend this out like that with a big hole in it. I reckon that looks sweet in there like that. Not sure whether I just do it flat or on an angle like it is there, but anyway, I just want to make that one piece, I think. Okay, the good news is it doesn't actually clash. That's on the full lock. It's still got a fair bit of clearance. No, I don't really want to do it that sharp an angle anyway, so now they might come up a bit, but that's going to work no problemo. Hola. Is it going to work?